So it's definitely an honor to be here to listen to everybody and as well to listen to the first two panels just now. I remember just now the first panel, Dato said that there is a trade-off when it comes to retaining talents, right? And one of it is how much you want to spend in developing, especially leaders, right? Leaders. And today we have, they are right, leaders of their own. So let me just introduce them first, and then I'll ask them to just say hi. Okay, so on my left is Miss Ooi Wern, okay, you can call her Wern, alright? She's currently the General Manager of HR for Sunway Malls, okay? She's a HR leader specializing in business partnering, HR transformation, talent management and development, change management. She holds a degree in e-commerce, computer science and IT, and has a level 5 qualification from the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, CIPD. And she's currently pursuing her MBA. So please welcome Ern. I'll just ask her to just say a few words to say hi.
Okay, sure. You can call me Ern. I think SME will like this name because it earned money. I'm glad to be here. Melvin used the same trick. Come for low sound, but you need to do a panelist roles. I'm happy to share some perspective from my corporate to everyone. 11 years in oil and gas. Technic is the largest top 5 engineering company in the world. They were based in France. Been to France a few times, attended leadership program there. Learned their culture. One day I decided to move on from the oil and gas. On intention, when I decided to move on, there was a lot of other oil and gas companies that waved their hand to me. But it's the intention to go to a Malaysian corporate. Sunway at that time they called me. And I said, why not? I think I heard about Sunway. The way they do people management, I kind of like that. When I attended first interview, I liked the impressions that gave me. So I so far stayed with them for 5 years already. So I hope I can share some perspective from MNC as well as local conglomerates to everyone.
All right, thank you, Ern. Okay. Can. Let's keep it light, let's keep it light easy. All right, okay, on my right is Miss Lily Koo.
Hi.
Okay, she's the founder of MQ Training Coaching Consultant. She's an international change speaker, a leadership coach, a speaker on change, and also an author. Her book is called Lead Change Heart Way, not hard, heart way. And her work in human development for the past 30 years has brought her around the region, including Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Cambodia, and China. She has trained over 500 corporate clients and 15,000 participants across all industries. And the one thing that connects us both is we are both from the same university, although different batches. Alright, so let me just ask Lily to just say a few words.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Hello, and what I think, shall I follow the trend by saying, I'm conned by Melvin also to come and eat. Seems like there is a trick here. But there is another trick after Melvin tricked me. All right, when I say yes, to become a speaker for this session, and last week I texted Melvin. I said, I'm a vegetarian. So I got him to do some work. So thanks very much, Melvin, for preparing the vegetarian dish for me today. And I think at this point of time, I'm very impressed with the speaker's talk just now. And maybe I think what I could contribute or what I could share in the session here, because just now was very much on the very hard aspects. Am I right? Law, HARD. Then we move on, money. So one thing that really made me like my work and enjoy my work with the leaders, with the companies, is very much I go into the heart, HEART. So I think for the next maybe 45 minutes to 1 hour, I will be maybe sharing more from that angle of inner inside us, all right, if you allow me, and also through my experience coaching different leaders. All right, thank you very much.
All right. Okay. So maybe a very the most straightforward question that I will ask both of you all is, why do we need to spend time developing leaders? SME, if we have just only a few people, why do we need to spend time doing that?
I'll give a very short reply. Then after that, I'll pass to Ooi. Yeah, I think, well, like you said, okay, we spend money. Already, they are in. Some more have to pay commission. Whatever app it is, right? So that they are in. Yeah, it's time for you to nurture them. Yeah, that's my short reply. Here you go.
My answer could be a bit long. It's for the business sustainability. I joined Sunway 2019, 3 months later, pandemic. And on the very same year pandemic, Sunway actually reviewed the entire business model. Sunway is already doing very good. And the review of business model of Sunway bring in Pemandu. Pemandu is the change driver of Malaysia. And that time, Pemandu challenged Sunway to triple our profit, not revenue. So the entire group need to triple our profit from 1 billion, we need to actually move up to 3 billion. Sunway Malls contribute 1/3 of that. We have 13 business units, but the retail side contribute 1/3 of it. So it's actually a significant contribution to Sunway Group profit. When the CEO came back and announced to the whole exco about this exciting news, and I was afraid on this. Well, it's so exciting. Triple within 10 years. That basically translates into previously Sunway Malls have 7 malls. Just 2 months ago we acquired another 2. Now we have 9 malls, which means that we need to have more operations, different business model. From 9 malls potentially grow up to, as per expectations, calculations is about 20-25 malls. And that translates to manpower and leadership. And very quickly, HR as the change leadership transformations. We put up a plan, HR put up a plan for the CEO saying that if you need to go there, this is your current manpower, and I calculate the average age of ESCO to our CEO. I say that, Mr. CEO, our current team of ESCO, 14 of us, average age is 52. I still remember the number. 10 years later, we are 62 average, meaning there are people 70. Or there are in some younger will move to 50. Is this sustainable for the growth? It is not very sustainable. Now, how do we facilitate this? Then I show that our bench rank, average age also 40 something, couldn't remember exactly. If we were to grow from 7 to 25, meaning to say that we need to fast track our people development. So definitely it translates to a business need, it translates to the business growth and the sustainability for the business.
Okay, so yeah, leadership development is all about sustainability. Both of you mentioned it as well, right? It's to nurture and to sustain, right? Okay, so now from a corporate point of view, what can we learn as an SME to do leadership development in their context? Yeah, what do you think we can learn or take from corporate to adapt it into SMEs? What step can
I could start.
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, learning and development need to be very expensive. You do not need to be spending in a big corporate way. But let's go back to the fundamental of learning. Is a reflection of what the gaps you have, where you want to go, and use your current network and resources to facilitate those development. SMEs, owners have a wide pool of connections, and today I witnessed here, initially 30, turned out to be 90. So there is a very powerful network. People learn from each other, people can mentor each other. So use this opportunity for development. Same goes to the people that, as long as a leader, we facilitate those reflections in our organizations and you could facilitate those learning.
Yeah, I would like to echo what Ian said here. Yes, many of times for maybe SME, the moment we think about training, the moment we think about learning, you cannot afford. Yeah, that's why I think HRDC has got a lot of plans to make everybody really train. Yeah, but think about it. Think about it. For us to build our business this far, we have that skill. We do have that leadership skills. We ourselves, let's start from us first. I always believe in that. Let's start from us first. Yeah, to develop myself as a good leader. It links back later to what Ian said about the sustainability, right? When you yourself is a good leader, you upgrade yourself, you lead well. Hey, the next reporting line becomes in SME I always say, 我事頭啊，咁樣啊。我事頭咁樣啊，如果冇佢啊，I speak in Cantonese, that means to say, well, my boss is really good, he lead this way, he's very visionary, this and this. We ourselves is a very good role model. So I thought that would be the very, very first step. Of course, it depends on how large your organization goes into, right? So if you start with yourself, then as your business expands, right, the size of the companies go bigger. Of course, you need some more structure training to come into place. But you yourself, be the leader, be the role model. This rule will not change, no matter how big your company is. Yeah.
Okay, so I hear from you that as a leader, you are the first teacher, the first trainer, right? And you can learn from one another, from different business owners here as well. Okay, so now as the business grow a bit more, bigger and bigger, right? And I think this is also the same with large corporates, where we've always had issue with succession planning, because we are always afraid that if I develop this person is going to take over my job, right? So same thing, business owners. One day I may suddenly lose my job because somebody else is going to take over. So how am I going to balance between not losing my role as well? Or in other words, how can I not lose control? Yeah.
Well, I think to me, well, I think it is a fact now that employee loyalty is relatively low compared to many years ago. Yeah, not only the staff we have, but at the same time, the younger employees nowadays. Yeah, so I think first and foremost, we must acknowledge the fact is such, right? So if the fact is such, I think a simple metaphor will be in and out, am I right? Yeah, so if you keep looking at recruitment calculation, now we know that, but going this way, that's no way. So in between when they are here, so how do we then, train them, develop them, maybe, to me, as I mentioned, as leaders, it always starts with us first. Aaron mentioned about succession. Yes, of course, we need to look at it from succession planning point of view. But at the same time, to me, succession planning sometimes can be too long. Am I right? We plan for 5 years, 10 years, whatever not, which we sometimes can't even promise whether 5 years later, 10 years later, they will be here. Am I right? So if you are able to be someone and train them instantly, they can pick up, they are already contributing back to your ROI. So nothing right or wrong. Of course, I work with many big corporates. Succession planning is a must. Very beautiful plan. We work with them on a long-term 2 years plan, talent development, high potential. All this I'm very familiar with. But today, as I'm with you, as the SMEs all here, I also rethink what model will be best fit for you all, right? So what I just shared is in fact something that just came out from my mind, looking at learning from all the seafood just now. Yeah? So maybe it is a very wild thought, but I thought it's for us to rethink. Yeah.
I did succession planning from oil and gas to the malls. Succession planning beside people also includes organizations restructuring. You need to structure your organizations agile that fit the current context and perhaps move to the future context. In the conversations of planning for talents, there need to build in a conversations of how will be the future organization structure look like as well. You need to control the organization structure, put in the right people that you believe in place, that give them certain exposure in different areas that move them up. You need to set in, of course, all the processes and guidelines in your new structure so that it sustains and business owner will not lose control as well.
Great. Thanks for your input on that. I'm glad that Lily brought up about the younger generation, on loyalty. And I think one of the words by some researchers now of the current generation in the organization is this word resilience. They're not tough enough. We've gone through before, why can't they? We've weathered the storm, why can't they, right? So the idea of resilience. So what do you think SME leaders can adopt to foster resilience within their teams? And especially with all, what's changing around faster and faster now.
Yeah. Maybe I'll start with I will start with a little observation of mine first. Yeah, I find it quite interesting. Many of times when I work with the big corporates, they will raise this complaint. Wow, nowadays youngsters, look at them when they come for interviews. Their driver, whoever fetched them, whoever waiting outside big cars and all this came with BMW for interview. I don't think they will last for long. Yeah, and then with a little bit of challenges, true enough, they tender. And then their leaders, managers say, "Ayo, cannot lah. Nowadays, youngsters cannot tahan lasak one." All right, but sometimes when I interact with my friends, when they have also their kids in the 20s, who work with other corporates, and the kids come back and say, "Hey, Papa, my company like that, my boss like that." The Papa say what? Quick lah! You get what I'm trying to say? It's my little observation I see, which it depends on what perspective you are looking at. Yeah, it depends on what perspective you're looking at. So, coming back to Aaron's questions, coming back to Aaron's question here, how do we train resilience? Yeah, the younger generations now, because again we all know the fact, because of their upbringing, they have not gone through all this. All right, they have not had those bitter moments or hard moments before. So I find one thing very important. Again, I want to go back to what I believe in. All of us are leaders, right? As leaders, how do we see and how do we manage resilience when hard times come to us? All right, when things are hard. For example, just now I heard so many changes. So many changes as we just open the year. At the same time, change. Right? Change. So all these are making the whole business environment very, very stiff. All right? So very important is when we work with this younger group of people, as a leader, how do we role model that we can do this? Yeah, I'm able to do this. And also openly talk about challenges. Yeah, one of the tips I find, because not only they have not gone through many challenges, but many of times in their upbringing stage, parents don't talk to them about challenges. Am I right? Parents here, you agree with me? When we had those financial challenges, when we raised our kids up, when we had a lot of things that we had to bite our teeth to go through all this, the husband and wife will quietly speak. at night after dinner. 點樣啊？好慘啊！Which their kids don't know. Am I right? Their kids happily go to school. Papa, I want this. Papa, I want iPad. Papa, I want this. My whoever. So you see, all this actually is really happening in our day-to-day life. So I think one of the things that we leader can do when we have younger generation come into it is, hey, we start to talk about it. Make challenges as part and parcel of our life. Make them exposed to hear about this. All right, this is one. Tip number 2 I'd like to share will be more from the perspective of resources. For someone who have not gone through any challenges before, you cannot expect them to handle the challenges the way we did. Some resources, some support, some guidance need to be there for them to sample, not only for them to sample challenges, but for them to sample challenges at the same time, the effort I put in it, at the same time, when you give them the guidance, the outcome, the positive outcome they experience after the challenges. Challenges is very easy, 3 steps, right? Challenges, you conquer, outcome. Am I right? Yeah, first and foremost, you talk about it. All right, and then secondly, you help them. Thirdly, they sample already. So, meaning to say, as a leader, right, we provide them with that kind of experience, that challenges can be conquered. Then it only goes into their blood because they embody it. When they embody it, they now experience, challenges can be dealt with. That's where you slowly build resilience. All right, so that's my little sharing here. Yeah.
I fully concur. So when you were talking, I'm actually thinking about resilience, and true enough, resilience is a learned skill. Just talk about infant, the baby that just starting to learn the walking. The kids, they're similar to my kids' age, so I can talk about kids. So when kids just walking, they walk and they fall, and what as a parents we do? It's okay, baby. Walk, do not stand up and walk. Yeah, hold here, hold that. We give them tips, guidance, encouragement. Similar to any athletes that compete in Olympic. Their moment of victory in Olympic is a lot of sweat and resilience back then, back to the stage, and that is a lot of learned skill, reflect, learn from failure, learn from the best, and continue their journey. That's where, resilience is about. I think it's a learned skill.
Yeah, if I may add one more. Well, I think just now I talked about let them know that there are challenges. Yeah, you give them the guidance and then show them the outcome. But again, because what does resilience means? Means failure tends to happen. Right? Many of times, what makes them scared of the challenges? Because they don't want the negative outcomes, which is mistakes, failures. So very important is also the follow through. Well, I may have put in effort. Yeah, maybe my technique was wrong. Maybe this is right, not right, or whatsoever. Hey, at the end of it, even when it is mistake, we sit down, we talk about it. Then we both learn together. And I find this will be a very beautiful moment between leaders and your team members and even your successor, between parents and our kids. We talk about, hey, fail already, so how? But not only so how, hey, what did you do? What have you learned? Just now we talk about succession planning, right? This is the best moment. This is the best moment for us to inculcate resilience as a learning through real experience, through embodiment. That means I have experienced it, right?
Okay. Yeah, so I agree with the idea that resilience is a skill. It's a learned skill, right? And I think both of you talk about how leaders need to spend time. But many SME owners, they one week kick everything. So time is money, time is of the essence. And while they juggle all these things, right, they may get fatigued in their thinking and also developing people. So what are some tips or strategies do you think that they can use to lead people and to teach and to, what we discussed so far, teaching, helping them to learn as well? What are some ways that you think that can be done.
Well, I understood that SME business owner, they tend to, when you are a startup, managing costs is everything. Managing costs as well as getting the sales that you intended is actually everything. Well, when you start managing things and you have some people to come in to assist, let the functions that you have to be autopilot, then you start to let go. You can't control when the people start doing the job and you start to see them, like I said, autopilot, then you can actually move on to be outward looking for opportunity for growth, opportunity for expansion, and that's where you leave yourself up from that operations mode and to look at things more strategically. I think that's perhaps the first steps.
All right. This question about our relationship with time, as leader, our relationship with time brings me back to one of the very common things I hear in class when I first started customer service. I help many companies build service culture. So many of times when we work with banks, work with many big corporations to help to build a service culture, when the top management always say, Lily, remember, when you go to the class, remember to tell my frontliners to smile. Yeah, very common. We all want our staff, sales staff, whatever staff, a customer to smile, smile, smile. And you know what? And every time, when we go into the class and we train these people, the frontliners say, oh, okay, smile is so important, and they tell us the same thing. Lily, a lot of customers, no time to smile. Especially those days, okay, now that they have cut down a lot, those days actually when there are a lot of counter serving staff, they said, wow, the queue so long, where got time to smile? Isn't the same? You know what I tell them? I said, oh, today only I know you do your work like that one. Do, customer come. When you do your work like that, you do, customer come, you have to stop your work and smile. And then you continue to do your work. Customer come, you stop, you smile. No, right? Can you see what I'm trying to derive here? Smile and your work can go concurrently. So this is, I find, a very good tip. We talk about we are actually don't have time to train. I also, if you allow me to quote another example, okay, a very layman example that we all can relate to. Many of times, okay, as parents, we want to have good family bonding. Every year we go 2 times overseas. Overseas time is a bonding time, right? But sometimes planning to go travel, go overseas at time, actually happy or not? Tell me the truth. Sometimes not that happy, right? Or sometimes not that happy as we wish to. There are struggles, there are challenges, there are flight delays, and then hotel, or all these things. Sometimes not as what you wish for. Again, right? So, what I'm trying to say here is, yes. So my question is, do we need to go and spend money and spend time to go overseas trip in order to have good family bonding? The answer is no-brainer, right? So what I'm trying to derive here is, I would like to share with you one model. I call it the triangle model. All right? So if you look at the tip of the triangle, is where your goal is. Say, for example, you want to train your staff, but you got no time, right? Okay, so you want to train your staff. And then the second layer is what I call a routine. I would like you to go through your day, and look at routines that you can tap on. For example, let me give a family example first, all right? Let's say your goal is to have good family bonding. You have many moments in a day where your family is together, am I right? When you fetch your kid to school, when you're having your dinner together, all right? When morning that time, all of you are downstairs at the pantry, for example, whatever your routine is. Then you change the bottom layer of the triangle is your behavior. You change your own behavior during those routine moments. Sikit-sikit. Every day, hello. Every day, hug. Every day, kiss a bit. Every day, have a little chat while you fetch your kids to school. Every day, no handphone time during family or outing or whatever dinner time. Isn't it sikit-sikit, lama-lama jadi bukit? No need time. So likewise, okay, coming back to what you talk about in an organization, right? You want to train your staff. So look at your routine. Any routine that you have can train your staff. Say, for example, one of the common routine in any organization is meeting. So what do you do in meeting time? If you were to create good bonding, no need to go team building, if you were to have good learning, is maybe use 5 minutes of your meeting time out of 1 hour to learn, to share experiences, to share things we fail and how we conquer the failure, to talk about this. Isn't that you are well spent, you are using your meeting time well spent instead of have to schedule another day for the training. Right? Sikit-sikit, lama-lama, jadi bukit. Alright?
Like that. Okay. Since we brought up technology just now, Joshua talked about technology, I think I want to hand in that referral thing. Quite nice. Okay, so when I was in Sunway and when I was in the bank, we as a L&D person, we bring in technology really to teach leaders and to do leadership workshops and things like this. Of course, those investment is very huge and large, right? So how can we scale it down for SMEs? What are some things that you think can be done technology-wise in terms of building leaders?
I think nowadays we learn from ChatGPT more than we train. I think technology definitely brings us a lot of efficiency and effectiveness on the job, like the platform Joshua shared just now. It could be a breakthrough in the industry. I hope it would. And behind technology also facilitates something. We call it process re-engineering. We perhaps have certain process in place that is so old school that we didn't even bother to look into this. And when technology kicks in, and this is where we look into a process to see whether it is still relevant. And if we could cut processes, re-engineer processes to fit the most current situations that help the people to actually enlighten their job. They don't need to go through 10 signatures to get things done. They probably will facilitate through technologies. And that leave out their administrative time to be more value-added focused. And when you give more value-added tasks to your people, you are also subconsciously developing your people to be a better employee.
Any input from you?
Well, I tend to be a little bit be the devil advocate in this area because I think with ChatGPT and with a lot of things, many people equate information is equivalent to learning. May not be, right? Information is not equivalent to learning. Learning must be applied. So I think one of the things very good is, ChatGPT is already and many platforms are there. But again, how do we humans use this easily available information to use our wisdom to translate into something applicable? Yeah, so I think, the information is there. So how do we then ask questions? How do we then really think about it? It's a thinking skills on top of the information that we gather. So I don't have a clue as to really how to do it, but just a thought that just came to my mind.
Right, okay. Perhaps right now is a good time to open the mic to the floor. Yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Yes. Mic.
Would it feel hot?
Thank you for sharing all the great insights on succession planning and leadership. My question is, I truly believe in succession planning and training the next generation of leaders right now. I want to ask, my question is, working from home, the trend of working from home nowadays, does that mean that it is a new challenge for us to train leaders moving forward when they are working from home?
I think as human, we are agile and adaptive creatures. We don't know how to survive COVID, but we survive. The trend of work from home, it can be detrimental, but depends on how you structure it. Is it necessary in the business? Well, I talk about some global context, but if you're able to manage remotely, you are able to, work from home is a skill. You will see currently there's this training program called working remotely and manage remotely, and that is required in a lot of MNC. You need to balance with the business needs. I'll share a little bit about what Sunway Malls did. Not a perfect model. Again, you can disagree with me if this model sucks, but I'll just share with you what we have. Before the government announced and enforced that we can, everyone have a right to request flexible working. Sunway Malls is already implement that. So what we do is we want to balance the young people that come into industry. We're in a retail industry, and retail industry basically attracts a lot of new generations. So what we do is we come up with a work from home system, application system. So what we do is 20 days a day. It's like your leave system. You can actually request the need to work from home because it's all data related. Because if you look at our organization's demographic, 50 to 60% of our workforce age between 30 to 45. What this group age tells you, it tells you that these are the group that they are transitioning into marriage, transitioning into parenthood, and they may require this kind of flexibility to work from home. We are in a shopping mall that need physical presence, so therefore we allow people to work from home to cater the people needs. Put in certain guidelines where the entire company cannot have more than 30% of people work from home. The system are able to detect that when you apply that. So this is the balancing act we need to do. As an organization, it's very agile. Maybe one day this system not required anymore, that we can take it back. Maybe one day that you need more, that you can introduce more. Maybe we can one day leave out the cap of 20 days. So that is the reason behind where we have this work from home system. It trains people to manage work from home as well.
Yeah, I dare not say too much because I heard just now 8 hours, no one. So I was trying to kind of like figure out, I better don't say anything which go against what the law just approved. But just want to share a little bit here and there, if you allow me. Well, I would say, okay, 3 things I'm going to share. I have been working from home for many years because that's the lifestyle I wanted to choose. So I'm quite comfortable working from home even before the pandemic. Yeah, so I think trust is very important when how I interact with my colleague, right? So, and over the years, for the past almost like 30 years, we work from home. And we have developed that kind of trust, all right? Of course, I think because both of us are coming from the same generation, right? So now I'm going to talk about the second example or things that I noticed, that is younger generation. I find younger generation now, they are very comfortable and they are quite good working from home. If you allow me, Elton, can I quote your example?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I work with Elton very closely. Look at him. Typical Gen Z. Right? Yeah. And we both work, shall I say, quite well? Okay, very, very well, yeah. And I give him that kind of flexibility. And if I may quote one example, I think some of you all knew I just had my book launch. All right, so there were many things to prepare during the book launch. And that time, this fellow went to Vietnam. Right? So, he went, because it's his life, right? This is a go to Vietnam. And to my surprise, you know what? That night, 9-something, I think, 9-something, he sent me some images, some pictures. He took my book to Vietnam and he took a picture of my book at Hoi An. Is that street? Lily, shall I post this picture on your social media? I said, Auntie want to sleep lah. Hello, 9 o'clock. Yeah. I think to me, I just speak from my own experience. Yeah, is actually a human-to-human connection that we can actually put in when we talk about working from home. Because as I mentioned, the earlier stuff different, right? This Gen Z typical. So how do we then have the kind of human connection between us? Yeah. And last example I would like to quote is when we talk about working from home. Yeah, I work with one fintech. If I were to say their benefit, they only if I'm not wrong, they were saying the whole company, top to bottom, they only need to go back to office, I think 4 days in a month, something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but it seems to be the lowest in Malaysia in terms of number of days they need to clock into office. So with that kind of working culture, then as what Ian said, you need to have different kind of strategy to tackle this kind of culture. The learning that you have, how you build their, like you say, now you cannot do a lot of role modeling, what else? So you got to tweak the way you handle that kind of culture. So that in order for that kind of culture to work. To me, all culture works somehow. But it's all about, in consulting, we all go back to alignment. Do you align top to bottom, horizontally, and you yourself, do you align with that kind of culture? Okay?
I may add on. Carol, how long I see you? Once a year, maybe? Twice a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carol, working mom, worked with me for 3 years from Ipoh. And managing many clients online. Very happy.
Yeah.
Give her. One year I see her 2 times only, you know. Chinese New Year or maybe Christmas, I'm not sure. Your wedding time last time. Okay? So I think you want to manage Gen Z, you need to be like Gen Z, right?
Yeah, you are right. I hope I'll be one. Another one here?
Hi, my name is E.T. I just got a different question about your mall.
Your mall. Yes.
My family goes to Sunway Pyramid as our favorite mall. We go there all the time. I'm just curious, what makes Sunway Pyramid so successful to be? Because Subang Sunway has 4, 5, 6 different malls, but all public pakai. Sunway Pyramid, Sunway 2, Sunway 3, Sunway 4, every time still succeed. So what is just curious, what makes it?
What is the ingredient?
Yeah.
Excellent. I think that's an excellent question. When I was in oil and gas, the management meeting gather about 2 to 3 years once to strategize forward. When I joined Sunway, and usually management gather, right, we don't quite get the input from the lower people. Yeah. When I joined Sunway, in end of August, 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, we need to present business plan. I said, what is business plan? It's to how you strategize your function forward for next year. I just joined it. How to strategize if I don't know you all? So I quickly get to know the business, the people, and then I put out plan forward. So there is this culture in Sunway, we call it business plan, that runs every Q3 until Q4. It starts with every function need to reflect what we have done well this year, what is the gaps, and what you plan to do next year and what are the budget you need. So then me as a HOD, I will engage my team members to say that, hey, let's reflect, let's plan forward. Then I will bring up to the management meeting to present that, they agree, put it into the budget, and then they will then present to the board, the Sunway Berhad, or Sunway REITs. And that is the moment that keep us moving, because every year we say that we want this budget and we want to do this. Sometimes we will get slack and say that please revise your budget because it's too high or it's not profit making enough. So that makes us always think of what are the new way that we always need to improve our profit, need to improve our productivity, and need to be more cost conscious. I give you an example. When I joined Sunway Malls in 2019, we are 7 malls and we have 630 people. Today we just acquired another 2 malls and we are managing it with only 500 over people. More business, more revenue, lower cost. We always, that drivers always think to how we can be more productive with less people. There must be a way. Maybe your apps can help us to work on that. And one of the things that we say that we need to transform how the job looks like. Technology helps us. Previously, you will see a group of people in the mall have a counter to help you to transact your parking tickets. Nowadays, you can know Sunway Malls, any malls you go through is all ticketless. So that basically wipe up a lot of people that are doing this transaction job. But new skill come in. People need to reconcile touch and go boost pay or whatever pay. That is more highly skilled job is needed right now. So this is Sunway. So it is always as a planning session that let you think forward. We talk about some mistake in the past, but we always forward looking.
Can I just add, because it used to be Sunway. I think one of the other things that I noticed is the ecosystem that Tan Sri always wants. So if you've been to Sunway, right? I always say you can be born there. You can be born in Sunway, right? Some got Sunway Hospital, right? You can go there and study. That's from primary school all the way to university. You can work there. You can do everything there. So that's how he has built Sunway. And if you go to any Sunway sites, like Velocity or I think Penang or anywhere, that's what they do. And that's how they build it. And that's why you see all the malls are quite successful. Yeah. That's my ecosystem that they build.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, this one be the best one to somewhere else.
Thank you, moderator.
All right. Any other questions? Maybe one last one.
Time to makan already.
Huh?
Time to
Or
makan.
time to hungry, right? Okay, can.
No more questions.
No more questions?
Lily, where to buy your book? Where's the book?
Yeah. So maybe I just open the floor for both of them to just say last words. Yeah, any last words, any last wisdom.
Wisdom.
Since so many business owners here, let's take this. Hang on.
Yeah. For me, I like the theme today. As I was sitting there, the theme today, if you look at it, is what? Sama, what? Gratitude, right? So I thought, I like it. Why? Because as I was sitting there, I look at it. If you look at what is about money, right? We all want money as business owner, right? But they also have the gratitude there, which is a heart, H-E-A-R-T. But when we combine the business and the heart, the gratitude part of it, we don't do it alone. We do it sama-sama. So let's remember that, right? All right.
All right, with that, thank you everybody for your
Thank you.
time.
Voila.
Contact with the MC.